not for food and water, but a famine and a thirst for the truth, for the knowledge of God. What did God say? Just think over that. I am from that last and greatest messenger. He was my teacher. He's the one who commissioned me as his minister. He's the one who named me and gave me divine instructions for these last days. One of my instructions was that you are not to take no orders from no one. He said, except me. He said, you don't take your orders from no other minister. You don't take your orders even from the holy city of Mecca. Any day now, they might declare a holy war out of the holy city of Mecca.
Yes, sir.
He said, if they declare a holy war out of the holy city of Mecca, you do not take your orders from Mecca. You take your orders from me. You wait on my orders. So I want to let you know, if they declare a holy war, which all Muslims all the earth are supposed to go fight, I want you to know, Minister Tariq Hamzah will not be joining with them. I got orders from God's last and greatest messenger, which means they're directly from God. That means I will not be joining with you. He said, wait on my orders. And that's what I'll do. He said, what if he don't ever give you no? Well, I will not be acting. Is that clear? I'll wait on his orders, but I'm quite sure he wouldn't tell me to wait on his orders if he wasn't going to give me some orders. I'm sure he's going to give me some orders. Is that clear? I know he's going to give me some further instructions. So I will be waiting on him and those who are with me. I don't know who's really sincerely with me. If there's only 2 or 3 of you with me, then you wait on whatever I tell you to do. Don't follow nobody else. Is that clear? This afternoon I wanted to talk to you on the subject of, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. I want to talk to you about this devil. Where did this devil come from? In the beginning, there was a great dissatisfaction. The beginning I'm talking about now is the beginning before the white man was made. I'm only going back 6,600 years ago. The beginning I'm talking about right now. Would you turn that board over, please, sir? As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Now, if I want to go back to the beginning also, as it was in the original beginning, before the devil was made, there was peace. In the end, there will be peace. Is that clear? So in the beginning, 6,600 years ago would put us, the history of the black man is kept in 25,000 year cycles. They start out in the year 1, and there's some holy men, holy divine scientists that are so wise, they know what's going to happen 25,000 years in advance before it happens. And these men are the ones that write the history up, a 25,000 year history. Then they pass it out in various volumes and books as it's needed. For example, Muhammad or Moses 4,000 years ago was given a portion of that original 25,000 year history called the Torah, the Old Testament. Jesus was given a portion called the Injil, the New Testament. That was a portion of the original Holy Quran. Muhammad 1,400 years ago was given a portion called the Holy Quran. But it wasn't the entire Holy Quran. It was only a portion of the Holy Quran. Is that clear? Now here comes God's last and greatest messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's been given the final knowledge, in other words, that will take us up, that peace will be established. And we'll have that all the way into the end of this cycle. But in the year 8,400, I should say in the year 1 of this 25,000 year cycle, it was predicted that in the year 8,400, a great, terrible dissatisfaction would come up among the people living in the heavens. And in the heavens, there was no white people on earth. When we go back to the year 8,400, there was not a white man on the planet Earth. Is that clear? That's 6,600 years ago. There was no race of people called white people. And where did they come from? That's what we're going to tell you this afternoon. So here we are in the year 8,400. But they had predicted at that time a great dissatisfaction would come up among the black people. Now picture this now. They're already in heaven. dissatisfied with the king. Naturally, they didn't know who the king was. The king was God, supreme one. Just think over that. But they didn't know that. In fact, nobody has known who that supreme one is. He said for 66 trillion years, only 12 holy black men have known who God is. Even out of the 24 elders, 12 minor scientists, gods didn't even know. So you know the rest of the people didn't know that they were dealing with God, but he's such a wise scientist. He could walk around and admit they didn't know. They thought he was an ordinary king. But he was able to tune in on and know what they're thinking anytime he wanted to. Just think over that. He could tune in on all the other scientists anytime he wanted to. They could tune in on him whenever he wanted them to. But he knew how to tune them out where they didn't know what he was thinking at all times. Do you understand? So therefore, there they was, dissatisfied with the king. But the reason why is because it was predicted that they would be dissatisfied. They were highly dissatisfied. So Yaqub was born out of their dissatisfaction. Whenever the people are dissatisfied and longing for a change, pretty soon their nature, they will produce one. One will come forth from them. You understand? That will help them with their dissatisfaction. So they were so dissatisfied that in that year, the birth of Yaqub took place. Now, what I'm telling you now, these people here, they was in the heavens dissatisfied. Now, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. But they weren't all dissatisfied. 70% were dissatisfied, and 30% were satisfied. Dissatisfied in heaven. %30 satisfied. You know, when a person is dissatisfied, they're always grumbling, always complaining, always finding fault. Nothing you do is right. Do you understand? So whenever you become dissatisfied, a separation must take place. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the reason why I want to point this out to you, he said, because in the end, he said, the satisfaction will reach almost 100%. Almost everybody will be dissatisfied. That's the way it is right now. 98% of the people are dissatisfied. Right in this temple right now. 3/4 of the people in this temple are dissatisfied. They're not satisfied, dissatisfied. So naturally, if you're dissatisfied, then a change must take place. A separation must take place. Who wants to be with a dissatisfied person? If you're satisfied, do you want to be with the dissatisfied? I know I don't. The dissatisfied should all be together, shouldn't they? Well, I want to give notice to all of you sitting out here dissatisfied very soon now, in a twinkle of an eye. It's so close now, I can almost feel it on my forehead, the heat of it. You're not going to be with those of us who are satisfied. You're going to be separated from us. Is that clear? And what gets me, what are you dissatisfied about? What's taking place that you're so dissatisfied about? You should be dissatisfied with yourself, more so than anyone else. Think about this now. But you're dissatisfied because of someone else. And you should be dissatisfied about your very own self. Because you're not walking, everybody in here is not walking perpendicular to the square. There's no one in here holy and righteous. There's no one in here able to condemn the other one. Remember what Jesus said? Remember when they condemned the woman at the well there? Or probably the woman that they was accusing of adultery. Just think over this now. And the law was the stone that lost, we must stone her to death. All the more dissatisfied ones, those evil ones, like some we got in this temple right now and out in the street. Well, we must carry out the law. Let's stone her to death. But here comes Jesus. He's merciful. You think about this now. Think about this. So when he comes, he said, okay, that is the law. You're absolutely right. That is the law. She must be stoned to death. But what we'll do is, he or she that is without sin, you cast the first stone. So pretty soon I started backing away. Some were liars. Some were evildoers. Some had been committing adultery their own self. Some were smoking cigarettes. Some was dipping snuff. Some was chewing tobacco. You understand? Some were smoking cigars. Some were smoking pipes. Some were cursing and swearing, using all kind of curse words. They're doing every kind of thing you can imagine. Gossiping, doing all kind of terrible things. So they all started backing away. So he asked the woman that was accused, he said, where are your accusers? She said, they're gone, Lord. They all disappeared. Now think, they already carry out that law. They weren't even worthy to be demanded to carry out the law because they were guilty of breaking the law themselves. What they should have done and what you should do if you're breaking the law. You should go get so quiet, I don't even know you're here. I should be looking for you. Oh, where's Brother So-and-so? Where's Sister So-and-so? Where's my lieutenants? Where's my captains? Where's my assistant ministers? I should be looking for you. Do you understand? Because none of you in here, you just like that woman that had accused. You're not worthy to be executing no laws on no one. Because you're guilty of breaking them yourself. And if you're not guilty of breaking the law, stand up and tell me that. Jump up and tell me you're not guilty of breaking the law. Let me see who you are. I tell you, that's a good. That brother jumped up there so fast, I said, well, in all my years of teaching, that's the first time I saw this happen. Brother, you put me in a state of shock there. He got up doing this. No. But all praise is due to Allah. But you see, so since we're all, dependent upon the mercy of Allah, we all seek his mercy, don't we? Well, then if we're all seeking mercy for ourselves, shouldn't we also have mercy on others? Shouldn't we? Just think over that. So anyway, this satisfaction is going to reach, he said, almost 100%. But the advantage you have is now here's someone coming and telling you. So if you're dissatisfied, someone's telling you, well, then get satisfied then. The thing that's causing you to be dissatisfied, maybe it's not even warranted. Get satisfied. You got a chance. Why would you want to be in a group of the dissatisfied and be separated? Great punishment coming to you. So these black people that were dissatisfied, the number, when they numbered 59,999 people. And their leader, Yaqub, made it 60,000. So here we are with 59,999 people. And Yaqub, the leader of them, the scientist God among them, making it 60,000. They say Yaqub was a scientist. They called it a big head scientist, a very large head. He wasn't very tall. I'm told he was only about approximately 5'4", but he had a great, big, enormous head. He was so smart until he graduated everything they had to offer. By the time he was 18, he graduated from all the universities. Nobody could teach him. He could teach the university professors. He was that wise. And he measured in biological chemistry and genetics. That was his specialty. And I'm going to tell you about him according to our lessons in just a few minutes, in other words. But I want to let you know what happened. So after a certain while, Yaqub was seen walking the streets of Mecca. He wasn't born in Mecca. Now, he was born outside of Mecca, 20 miles outside of Mecca, and came into Mecca. All that has spiritual meaning to it. Maybe you ought to kind of weigh some of that. But he wasn't born in the holy city of Mecca, 20 miles outside. And he was seen walking the streets of Mecca gaining converts. And he was telling them, all the dissatisfied ones, say, if you come and follow me, I will teach you how to become gods and goddesses. I will make you the ruler over the others that didn't come with me. Think about this. I'll make you the rulers and gods over them. If you follow me, I will make you kings and queens. Now, they thought that Yaqub had a plan where he was going to just take them somewhere and tell them some secrets how they could immediately come back and be the rulers, but it wasn't that way. So Yaqub was creating so much disturbance in the land by getting all these dissatisfied people all wrapped in. Picture how they were now 70% dissatisfied. The little 30% was probably catching hell. Do you understand? They were suffering as a result of them. So one day after a while, he's causing so much disturbance out there among the people. He was trying to get all of them to go with him, till the king had him arrested, because disturbing the peace is not permitted in the heavens. So he had Yaqub arrested. And when Yaqub wasn't using his real name, he was using the alias. Otherwise, they would have known who he was. He wasn't using the name Yaqub, one who was opposer of God. He was using the alias. And so don't ask me, I don't know what the name that he was using, but it wasn't Yaqub, but he was using the alias. So when he had him arrested, then the king came to visit with him. And when the king come in, he thought for sure he was coming to kill him, because he knew the penalty was death for disturbing the peace. And he was worried, because he was born with the determined idea to carry out this plan that he had. He knew that in the black man there was two people. He knew that a white man existed, a white germ existed in the black man. And he wanted to graft that brown germ into this white germ. You understand? In the black man there's two people, in other words, black and brown. But Yaqub's idea was to separate the black from the brown and take the recessive. One was dormant and one was recessive. The brown germ was recessive and the black was dormant. He wanted to take the brown germ, the recessive germ, and graft it into its final stage, which would be white. He had the idea already in his forehead to make another people, a white race of people, unalike. Do you understand? So he was worried. He said, now here I am. All this is in me. I know how to do this. I know I can accomplish this. Now I'm going to have to die. I won't be able to carry out this burning desire that I have in my mind. So when the king came in, he didn't greet him with assalamu alaikum. He greeted him with wa alaikum salam. Kind of reminds me of the, no, it's not wa alaikum salam. He said wa alaikum. Not no salam. Wa alaikum, Mr. Yaqub. It reminds me of those people following Wallace with their wa alaikum assalam. Think about this. So he greeted him. He said, "Wa alaikum," and he called his name because he knew Mr. Yaqub. That frightened Yaqub almost to death right there. He said, "Oh my God, he knows who I am." He said, "Don't get excited, Mr. Yaqub. I didn't come to kill you right now. Just think about that. Wa alaikum. I didn't come to kill you right now. I come to make arrangements to get rid of you." So anyway, what he did was then, he said, "I come to make an agreement with you, Mr. Yaqub. The work that you're trying to do, you cannot carry that out here in the heavens." Now, how the king knew about Yaqub, when he began to saw the work he was doing, he went into the vaults, got the history, and looked back and saw that in the year 1, it was predicted that in the year 8,400, a man like this would be born. So after studying the history, he said, "This must be the man. So I'll go question him." And when he went to him, he found out he was the one. So therefore, he wasn't going to kill him. It was predicted he would do the work that he was doing. So it had to take place. He said, "You have to do this in another place." So Yaqub agreed. He said, "All right." He said, "I'm going to exile you. I'm going to exile you to the island of Pelon, or Isle of Patmos. You understand? And there you can carry on your work." So Yaqub agreed, provided he would furnish them with the ships to get there, furnish us with the ships, furnish us with the supplies, and everything that is necessary to keep us up for 20 years. So the king agreed to that. Then Yaqub started rounding up his followers, getting them ready. Look at all of them getting ready to follow Yaqub, thinking they're going to paradise. We're going to go over with Yaqub, and we'll be back pretty soon. We're going to sail back on these boats and come back and rule everybody in the heavens. The one that stayed with the king, we're going to come back and rule all of you all. Just think of that, how they were deceived. So when they got there, in other words, they got a big surprise. In other words, Yaqub kept his word. He did make them, in the devil, aren't they kings and queens? Gods and goddesses? Aren't they ruling the rest of the people? That's right. They've been ruling everybody on earth except the elders in the heavens.